Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CEA Rocket League third place match. We are here with the two teams that just missed out on their spot in the finals and are here competing for the third place spot to earn $400 for their charities of choice. Teams are just getting set up now, making sure their controllers are all ready to go. Don't want to have a disconnect mid-match or anything like that. Looks like teams are saying they're ready in chat.
All right.
So we have the bars in blue and the Summit Legends in the orange. Let's get this started. Shadowade, you've seen these players play a little more than I have. What sort of details do you have on them to share with the crowd here?
So both teams have had pretty good performances, obviously, to make it to this point in the playoffs. But there's really two star players on the field, kind of one from each team that a lot of the play tends to revolve around. So Donnie on the bars has been here a number of years and came in from the CRL league. He's always been a treat. And Feed on the Super Summit Legends side is a ones main who has hit SSL at least a few seasons and always tends to put on the show. So really seeing how their teams are able to enable those players, opening up opportunities for them or capitalizing on opportunities that they create when taking like 2v1 challenges or just getting a couple 50s past other players and looking for those creative shots after.
Yeah, we'll see how those star players are capitalizing their opportunities in this game. So far, most of the pressure has been in favor of the bars. No shots actually registered, but quite a bit of pressure. Now on the other side, Flowery Free going for a second touch in the air, and he will get the first.
We are getting a little bit of ball dropping from Zippity, so I'm going to hop on a private call and see if that will fix it. I'm not sure what server is. We'll try to get that sorted out and get right back. Super Summit Legends up by 1, 3.5 left to play. As Zippity just drops over the side of for a little bit of time. The bar is putting on some good pressure. They're trying to equalize before too much time gets by.
Itself.
It has resolved this time. Sound good.
Fantastic. Alrighty. Well, it looks like Summit Legends have started us off with the first goal, looking to try to get the second one here. Flowery Feed getting the second goal, putting it just under the defenseman, right back again there. Genstam coming off the sidewall there, only so much clear he can make. Z tried to position himself to cover as much of the net as possible, but Flowery Feed seeing that positioning and putting it just under him for the go-ahead goal.
Yep, and Demo Lovato did a lot of work there too, forcing a double commit out of the defense earlier, just before that, which put Z in the tough spot of trying to decide, do I stay in net, do I challenge for an early 50? Yeah, covered a lot of the net, but especially from those ones players, they're going to be able to see the angle of if you pre-jump, seeing that low angle, knowing that's an open goal.
Oh, and a demo in front of the net, little soft touches here. Laugh Track getting some little funky plays and then demoing the player who was supposed to be clearing the ball, opening up Flowery Feed for the hat trick halfway into game number 1.
We got a great perspective spectating Feed there as that happened. He had to go in and try to hit that ball completely flying through the smoke, but still was able to make contact and put it towards the net.
Yeah, it's good. Good job tracking the ball throughout all that. Donnie now trying to get stuff started on the other end. Tries to go for a little air dribble, but can't quite catch up to it. Z challenging on the wall, gets beat by Demo Lovato because he had no boost going for it. Now Flowery Feed will start sending it down. Donnie, awkward touch. Goes up to laugh track, gets bumped off the double touch. Demo Lovato's denied by Z. Flowery Feed going to try to keep this one going. The blue team is doing everything they can with the very little amount of boost they have available to them. And Summit Legends just keep on putting down the pressure.
Yeah, the Bars haven't found a great way out. They've had a couple offensive pushes so far, but every time they've scrambled back to defense after those offensive pushes have led to a couple of those early goals. And so they've got to figure out how to make a sustained push without opening themselves up to a single demo or bump, collapsing their pressure and leaving them with no defense.
Yeah, the Summit Legends just have had excellent rotations to make sure there's always someone in that midfield to stop the clear outwards. But, well, I was going to say that the Bars had the pressure, but it immediately turns around on them, and Flowery Feed with the 4th goal of the game. Absolute dominance showing from Feed today.
You saw Z with a little bit of a pre-jump thinking it was going to be an early hit, but Feed just catching the ball and cutting it inside buys himself so much space there. Even in 2v1 offensively.
Yeah, and those are some of the different habits that you get from being a ones player. There's a very big difference in mindset between ones and threes. And, you know, Z reacting there as if he was against a threes player, as you would expect in a threes match of, you know, you just slam the ball as hard as you can, catch your opponents off guard, find any opening you can. But a ones player will wait. They'll sit there and they'll watch what you do and then respond to that. And it's a whole different game that you have to, a whole different set of mind games that you're playing with. Speaking of mind games, Donnie coming in with a highlight reel goal here. I'm not even sure if he got the flip reset, but he made it look like he did. And no, he didn't get it. Ends up just falling with the ball. The defense puts it in for him.
Was very close to getting that reset, but going low, yeah, made the first defender miss. Bringing in a little bit of those mind games to see if there's a progression further of flip resets and lack of flip resets. But with that, there was no fake here. Jin Stam just slamming the ball in after a crossbar from Donnie.
Indeed, and you know, there's 4 seconds on the clock. 2-goal difference, but I've seen crazier happen. Let's see if the Bars are able to get this back here. They have, no, unfortunately not. It was exciting to talk about. They might put in 1, but yeah, that's going to be the end of game 1.
They did what they needed to do, though. When you're down 4-0 in the first game, you're kind of already writing that off. In a best of 7, it's a long series, but you have to prove to yourself that you can find these opportunities and have a chance. So getting those 2 goals in the last 30 seconds there is a huge for just trusting their offensive push. Hold on. Those were all just GGs. Okay. Making sure no one was needing a server swap there. But we should have one more here before we move over to central servers. Or did we start on central servers? Either way, we're moving between central and east after a couple games. Started on central, moving to east.
Sounds good.
But
yeah, as you were saying, those last 2 goals at the end of the game are going to be massive for the momentum going into the next one, just to prove that they aren't completely outclassed in this match off the start. So being able to get a couple of quick ones in there, that's just going to feel good, and I feel like they're going to come out absolutely swinging right off the kickoff here.
The Super Summit Legends also opting to play a little bit more of a grounded game than the Bars. We saw the Bars willing to go up a bit more high in the air than Summit Legends. Not that Summit Legends can't, it's just the tendency seems to be that the Bars would like to take the lead. So we'll see if that also continues as a trend. Maybe opening up some plays for those quick resets or aerial mechanics to come out from both Donnie and Z showing a little bit.
Yeah, thinking about the matchup being against one of the top ones players, that's a good call to go for. Usually one stays lower and threes goes higher up. So trying to play up in the sky above the primary skill set of their opponents is a good way to go about it. And it's a little dangerous there, high in front of the orange net, but does get cleared away. One thing to note from last game, though, is I feel like there was a lot of situations where the bars didn't have the boost they needed to get past that center line, and that's part of what had them stuck in the back end. And so I wonder if that high-flying play needs to be toned down a little bit because of how much boost is getting used in the process.
Definitely something to think about, and why one's players tend to like to stay on the ground. The ability to quickly adjust without having to commit too much.
Flowery feed trying to make a center pass here. Might just do it himself. Lands on the other side of it after going up off the wall. And that is one... would you call that a delayed Doomsy dish, perhaps? That was a unique play to get the goal there.
It was a bit more creative. Yeah, it wasn't a strict Doomsy, but definitely did a great job of controlling it, knowing where that back post was, knowing he still had time to get around the defender, and without having to panic.
I think that's about as close as you get to a hockey wraparound with Rocket League having the nets against the walls. And so the blue team is trying to respond here immediately with some pressure from the bars. They're putting it down into the orange zone. Are they going to stop Flowery Feet? No. He's able to clear it out. Is he going to get the center as well? Donnie stops that. Demo Lovato backs off the shot from Genstan. Going to take another one. It's an awkward catch on the wall, and that lines it up for Griffa to get us a tied game.
Yeah, great pressure from the bars, just rocketing that ball at laugh track. He didn't have any time to react, and unfortunately with the way it hit his car, it just killed the ball right in front of the net.
Yeah, that's a rough bounce for him. The way that ball just completely died on his car. Not what he wanted. Griffa trying to go back down the other way with zero boost. And is able to make it go out to Genstam. Flowery Feet just able to block it with the zero boost he had left in the tank. Let's see if the bars are able to get their first lead of the series in this game number 2. Genstam puts it intentionally to the side to try to get a rebound. Flowery Feet catches it, sends it away. Donnie centers to Genstam. A little bit of miscommunication with Griffa there. Griffa jumped at it, but he might now be in position to take this pass. No, the defenseman whiffed on it, but no one was expecting that from the bars, and no one was there to capitalize.
The early commit is they still have a lot of pressure, so hopefully they can find a few more passing opportunities.
Yeah, the bars are going for a really tight rotation here. There's always someone repositioning for the ball and being right there, not giving the Summit Legends any time to think about their clearing plays. Right, just like that, Genstam right on Demo Lovato as soon as he was trying to clear the ball. Now Donnie immediately on it, going for some air plays. Flowery Feed will kill that play though.
We're seeing the right ideas though out of the bars. They're looking for, taking the ball off the walls and passing to each other. Danger for them now though, as Jensen bails them out, finding his own corner. A sea of orange players.
That was a scary play. That ball was going around very slowly, and a miss on the defense forces Donnie to make a desperate play. Gets up again, does make the clear, but now they're going to be a little low on boost in their own corner. Donnie's the only one that has anything to his name, and Laugh Track is going to take advantage of that. The two players without boost from the bars were scrambling to try to do anything with it, and in the end, Laugh Track comes careening around from the side, putting that ball in the back of the net with 1 minute left to go.
You called it. Donnie there had boost, but with both teammates in the way, it was too hard to commit and jump over them, knowing you'd also put yourself out of any future play for it. So, great game sense from Laugh Track there to just force the ball in.
Yeah, he recognized the chaos and capitalized on it. Now they're Summit's trying to bring that lead up again. The bars had their biggest momentum push at the end of the last game, and now as we come to the end of this one, you got to wonder if that fire is going to get lit again. Ball is high in front of the bars, passes it down. Flowery Feed can't quite take that one away, and will go into the orange corner. A little bit of chaos there. Team bump from Feed. Donnie now trying to center, going for the bomb. Gen Stam just shut down by Demo Lovato and cleared out by Feed. Now we're probably going to go down to 0 second time unless that shot's just going to make its way in. No, Gen Stam sending it to the side. Can they dribble this up? Griffa pops it, and Demo Lovato will shut that down, put it to the ground to end game number 2 for Summit Legends.
All right, and that brings us to a 2-0 lead for the Summit Legends as we take a quick break to swap over to East servers. But after game 1, it was a slow start for the Bars for sure, but they still were feeling pretty okay with the comeback there. Going 2 games down in a best of 7, you're not in full panic mode yet, but you do have to be starting to worry you haven't found a way to shut down Feed, right? You've had 10 minutes now of game time, and it feels like he's still this unsolved problem for them.
Yeah, Feed's just got the pressure. He's got the ability to slow down the play and manipulate the game into the way that he wants it. And that ability to slow it down a little bit, create a little bit of chaos, force some double commits on the defensive line for the Bars, because you don't know what he's going to do. You have to cover as many options as you can, and sometimes that means that on the rebound, now there's no one left in position to make the save. So I feel like in that second game there, Feed almost did more to mess with the Bars than he did to actually generate the scoring opportunities, and he opened it up for his teammates to capitalize on the back end there.
Yep. And we're still waiting to get all players backed out of the previous lobby so we can create the new one here.
Alrighty, please send me an invite. I got kicked out when my internet dropped. Interesting.
Create that. Perfect. And then, yeah, just a few more seconds here while we get all of the players back in. But looks like everyone is already popping in, which is great.
So looking at what sort of strategies the Bars are going to have to use to adjust here, it looked like the times where they had the best pressure going on was when they had really, really tight rotations and were basically just, as soon as they pressured, they grabbed either corner or mid boost and turned around immediately. And I think that's probably what they're going to have to do again in order to keep up the pressure. It's a high risk style of play. If anyone misses their spot, whiffs a touch on the midline, you're completely out of position. But if you can keep that pressure up, I think that's what they're going to need to do to get the goals against the Summit Legends.
Yeah. The other thing that might be worth thinking about too is a couple of the goals they got have been from kind of just slamming the ball over Super Summit. Ooh, that was a great shot.
That one's just that one's just going to be some, constant pressure, a little bit of messing with the defense by lap track up on the wall there, and Feed finds the spot. Defense just not able to get there in time.
Bars put with their backs against the clock once again. To play this game looking for how do they find that goal. Getting a little bit riskier and riskier play as it goes on. And the other strategy that has found them a little bit of success has been hitting it over Super Summit Legends. Just finding an empty spot off the backboard. As we see a great infield pass there. From Donnie into Gen Stam.
Donnie, yeah. Yeah, that's just what you were saying there of, playing it high is the strong suit of the Bars compared to their opponents here. And yeah, they put it high. Defense missed. Open shot for Genstam to put that one home, and we are back to a tie game a minute in. See if they continue to play that strategy. Donnie keeps it in at the midfield. Now, Flowery feed, gonna pop it up to Laugh Track, but he's got no boost. Feed puts it on net from the angle and will bring his team back up by one. Once again, just a nice little shot here, nothing fancy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got the doink right before. Heard his teammate was up, stayed grounded, and had a very quick follow to it. It would have just a perfect shot placement and power from that angle that they were not ready for. So while nothing fancy, it was very tight margins on a number of portions of that play that was perfect.
Yep. Yeah, if there's any new Rocket players watching from home, and you're out there practicing your air dribbles and your flip resets and stuff like that, go back to your shot training. Just practice your shots. That's going to guarantee you far more goals than anything fancy. As we see once again, Demo Lovato puts in a pretty straight shot there. Laugh Track goes off the ceiling, and Demo beats the defense to the ball. 114 kilometers per hour on that shot, which is pretty incredible from that angle. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure what that is in miles as a Canadian myself, but a damn good shot regardless.
It was a good shot. Definitely had power, but not breaking any speed records there. Just good power and good placement on that.
See now on the other side, tries to get a center, but Demo Lovato will be there to stop it. Feed also beats the player at the midfield and now starts slowing it down. Goes off the wall, centers it. No one from his team decided it was quite good enough to try to commit to. There wasn't a large part of the net left after that pass needed to make its way around the defense.
We got a little bit of a collision between Laugh Track and Feed there, and showing maybe just a bit of an opening that the bars can try to play on times where the Summit Legends might be slightly out of sync, and as Speed is kind of chasing the ball and teammates are unsure on when to get in, but the Bars finding a couple good passes here, putting them on offense. A great ball across the net, and it's just straight in from Donnie there.
Beautiful shot. Yeah, like you were saying, a little bit of bumps on the back end. Doesn't seem like much, but they result in issues down the line. Rotation and positioning in Rocket League it's like a whole bunch of gears trying to mesh together. And as soon as one thing gets thrown off, that's going to be something that is going to be thrown off for a considerable amount of time until everyone's able to get themselves back in position. And no one was expecting Donnie to be able to get the shot from that dramatic of an angle. But when he pulled it off, there was no one in net to even try to stop it.
Donnie getting up high for a defensive challenge there and still getting bumped off. But the Bars have found a lot more success now with linking up two of their players on these clears out, getting a bit of power and putting those Summit Legends on the back foot for their defense here that haven't been able to exert nearly as much. So here the Bars able to replicate this after the big demo coming through from last track, flying a lot of Summit Legends.
Yeah, Summit Legends still have the offense here. Laugh Track putting it into the corner. Looks like the blue squad is very, very low on boost at the moment. Donnie just able to pick up a corner, but Laugh Track going to pop that up, going for the double touch, but Donnie will send that away. Tries to connect with Z, doesn't quite make it, but Genstam picks it up. Z now going for the centering pass. It's there. Donnie off the crossbar, follow up, but Genstam gets around the defense, and we have a tied game with a minute left on the clock.
Great play from the Bars here, keeping the ball high, just whittling down the number of defenders in net, and Genstam with the patience, putting it just around the last defender. Textbook play when you have numbers advantage and have the defenders on the back foot there. And you just keep making it awkward for them until you have a clear shot.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the thought process here for the bars is just send it off the backboard over and over and over. And then eventually the other team's going to run out of boost. And there you have a capitalized play. Now, this is the bars' best opportunity they've had so far to win a match. Tied game, 35 seconds left on the clock. Are they going to be able to capitalize, or will Summit be able to extend their lead in this series up to match point? They're up 2-0 in this best of 7 so far, and they really want to keep their pressure on, not let the bars get that moral boost of taking a win off of them, because that could very easily snowball into the rest of the series.
Looks like it's going to be Summit potentially with the last push here, as the Bars maybe have time to get around it, but likely sending us to overtime. Super Summit Legends just hit the ball down on the cross score.
Yeah, that centering pass didn't quite have enough support on it to have anything come about. Z now gets a surprise takeaway there, forces the turnover on the orange zone. Flowery Feed desperate to just get that away. Z will pop that in zone. No boost to work with. Rough touch from Laugh Track there. We'll go back out to Z, still without boost. Gen Stam's up off the crossbar. No one there to finish. Donnie now off the wall, goes up, goes for the double, can't quite reach it. Goes down to Z, center again, and looks like it's going to be cleared. The bars are looking like they're playing with way more confidence in this overtime.
Yep, they are looking much better here. Finding opportunities, recognizing when they have a little bit of space and they can kind of control the ball. Looking for a back pass even there, but Donnie will just hit that one away. Looking for Lap Track, but Z was following him up the wall proactively. A great job. And it's
there it is.
Not quite a hook shot, but just finding the power on a dribble here. Catching Jimson, approaching a little bit too close. Finding that near post. Super Summit Legends go up 3-0 in the series, putting them on match point. One game away from winning that $400 for their charity.
When I saw Z up on the wall there, I was impressed to see him stopping that clear so early on. But then when I saw the clear was landing right on Flowery Feed's nose, that was heartbreaking almost to see so much effort just go right down to right into the hands of your opponent. And the worst opponent for it to fall into is the top ones player on your opponent's side. He just caught that, teed it up for himself, and pounded that one into the back of the net. Not much opportunity there from the defense, just too much power to even be able to react on that.
And the post-game stats here tell a big story. Feed here with 811 points. The next highest, I think, was Donnie at 450. But Feed just pulling so far away. 3 goals, 5 shots, 4 saves. Meanwhile, the Bars only had 1 save combined between them. And Super Summit Legends with 7 saves there. So, really, the Bars were trying to play defense before it got all the way to the goal, which is good. But you also have to have that goal line stand, the ability to stop those shots as they come in. And it seemed like that was lacking that game.
Yeah, we've seen improvement from the Bars each game so far. The shots were at least in their favor on that one, which is a good sign for their pressure and for their confidence. But will that continue to build after losing in overtime? They're now at match point. If they want to get that $400 for their charity, they're going to have to go perfect for the rest of the series, 4 games in a row, and that is a very tough ask against this Summit Legends team.
Feed was looking for a clip there right off the start, playing it off the sidewall, and then was going to follow it up if no one played it. But the Bars finding an opportunity here, got out of defense, and now have the open backboard.
Oh, they just weren't able to capitalize anything out of it. Their best opportunity was forced off to the side. Then they started playing off the backboard. It was looking decent, but nothing quite on net when it needed to be. Now it's getting awkward in the midfield here. Gen Stam kind of on his own.
Players are committed to this could turn bad real quick.
Oh, and the pass down to the next player from Summit Legends there didn't quite get the target, and so that will kill the offensive pressure they had. Donnie going high. Z gets the shot, floats it over the defenders, and they will take the lead.
I believe that I think they had the lead one other game this year. They got the first goal, but it has not been much that they have been playing from ahead. So hopefully they can keep pressure on and avoid getting too close to their own net. And here, now that they have the lead, feel a little bit of that pressure on. But
yeah, this is. We haven't been able to see them with breathing room so far this series. It's hard to say that they have breathing room now with only one goal and being on match point, but at least they can have some semblance of confidence in their plays, knowing that it's not going to be immediately all over if something goes wrong. Demo Lovato had a good opportunity there. Donnie will stop it. Going for the redirect. Will just lightly go to Flowery's nose. The challenge, though, from Genstam, I believe that was, puts it to Donnie. Nothing coming of it, however. Z now in his own corner. Looking a little awkward, but gets a decent 50-50 on it. But that will just go down to the orange players once again. Lots of pressure coming out from Summit. Shot will go high. Is there a follow-up? No. Interesting.
but even just going for this and made Summit Legends back off respecting it. They did get breathing smash. Although Feed now making a push up the sidewall. Let's see if he goes and then Z beating 2 there. Looking for the net, just not finding it.
Yeah, that was a nice little wave dash shot, but those are darn hard to get any accuracy on. Feed gets the 50 off the post, but that's a double commit, I believe. Unfortunately for the Bars, no one is quite in position to capitalize on it, so Feed has the time to get back to the midfield to stop the immediate pressure. Laugh Track will flick that downfield. Z to pop it in, stopped in midfield by Feed. Genstam to the corner. Demo will not be able to center. Stopped by the Bars once again. And this ball just keeps going back and forth without any proper scoring opportunities. Really developing from either side at the moment. Even that one, it was a decent shot, but Feed was there for it the whole way.
Super Summit Legends have had a number of these 50s now that they've been challenging that have gone dangerously close to just becoming a goal and shooting towards the Bars net. Thankfully, so far for the Bars, none of them have gone on target, but if they keep taking those sorts of risky 50s and Super Summit Legends keep playing it well, it feels like it's only a matter of time before one of those creates a real opportunity.
Yeah, they have had the 50-50 game for sure. They keep being able to get touches just enough to get it towards the net, and then it's just no ability to finish so far this game. Well, we're going to need to see some heroics from possibly Feed here if they want to get back in this game. But they got 1 minute left on the clock. We'll see what they are able to bring out. Demo Lovato misses a shot, leaves it for Flowery Feed. He probably wasn't quite ready for that one and didn't get a strong shot. Now it's going back down the other way. Off the backboard, Donnie 50s it to the corner. Laugh Track, first one to the ball. Comes off the ceiling with it, misses his ground pinch, and so that'll be left to Feed to clear out. Donnie in the corner, picks it up, goes for a little bit of an air dribble, kind of flounders on it a little bit, gets some assistance from Z. Genstam backs off from the shot from Flowery Feed, makes the right decision to wait for the shot rather than trying to challenge it, and now Z puts it towards the net off the wall. Genstam tries to close out the game, not quite. Few seconds left on the clock, and that will be forced to the ground. The Bars stay alive.
And they take their first step towards a reverse sweep here. It's a long road ahead, but that is what you needed to do. And yeah, I'd have to give it to Genstam there. You called it out. He was making that decision of, do you challenge Feed for the 50 early, or do you try to already go back to net and wait for it? And sure enough, Feed rocketed a shot there towards the top right, but Genstam was close enough to be able to make the save, and that made all the difference there on that final play. So the Bars doing a good job of holding on to that lead they got early, and they maintained control for a lot of the game too. So Um, they didn't try to turtle up on defense, but very solid play coming out of them that game.
Yeah, that felt like a more balanced game. You can see in the shots here, the bars with 9 and the legends with 7, which is pretty equal as far as Rocket League standards go. So I think this wasn't so much a difference in one team's game plan working out. I think it was just the bars found their opportunity, took advantage of it, going off the backboard like they were, which was an excellent style of play. And then just enough defensive consistency to keep that line held throughout the rest of the game. Now here we go with game number 5. Let's see if the bars are able to keep themselves alive, going off the backboard right away. And Genstam does it himself. Will put that shot away, put it off the backboard, jump up for it. Demo Lovato just not able to reach it, and Genstam using every ounce of that boost to make that shot happen. And that will put up the bars 1-0 just 7 seconds into the game.
And when you talk about what does the road look like for, oh no, well, trying to find that reverse sweep, you really want to carry as much momentum as possible, but Feed here, laugh track, a touchdown, just bakes out Genstam and Z both up for that. And so Feed has a wide open net, killing all of that momentum. And the bar is now going to look for how can they shrug that one off and just keep going. And can't think too much about a double commit like that. And got to make sure it doesn't happen again, but you don't want to dwell on it for sure.
Yeah, it looks like they weren't too bummed out about it. They immediately answered back with a strong opportunity. Unfortunately, the angle they went for wasn't able to quite get the power on it. But here they are in front of the net once again, cleared out by Demo Lovato. Z going up the wall, beats 1, beats 2. Can he get the ground pinch? Yes, he can! And Z will bring his team back into the lead.
Some great mechanics there. Z just finding enough air roll to get on the outside of that ball, send it inside of the net where the defender was not quite ready for it. Well done.
Yeah, an excellent job there, doing it all himself, up off the wall, beat every single player from the Summit team. And so we were concerned about their confidence getting beaten back a little bit there, but it seems they have brought it back quite in spades. Now we'll see how the Summit team responds. They've got the offense. Donnie trying to touch it to the side for the bars. Genstam able to get it clear, and there's no one really back for Summit. It's not dangerous, but that's going to kill their offense for now. Laugh track fakes the jump, has 0 boost, just lets it go down to Demo Lovato instead. Z to clear. Will we see some heroics once again? Slows it down, 50s it over to Genstam on the other wall. Off the backboard, and that will get cleared out. Donnie just able to get a touch on it, and it's a double commit in the midfield from Summit. They were able to hold on to that one just enough, but it seems like Summit are getting a little scrambly compared to how we saw them earlier in the series.
Yep, and IBM, for the most part, seems to have sorted out a lot of their double commit issues. Z there looking for off the ceiling, but it's just hanging on a bit too long and couldn't quite get out there.
Demo Lovato going off the backboard there, trying to get some plays started, but is getting cleared out. That's a shot towards the net. Donnie will clear, using up all of his boost to do so. Get past one player in the midfield, but not the other. Demo Lovato, he's got the whole net. Genstam is there! Now Flowery Feed pops it high instead of taking the shot. He's just dancing around the ball, and no goal will come out for Summit Legends there.
Doing a good job of conserving his boost on the way out there, able to vary up his speed and get past 2 defenders. Fought a lot of space for the bars to kind of recoup some of their boost after they were in a bit of a desperate spot. But now looking like they're going to be on a counterattack here. Donnie looking for the doink across.
Oh no! Oh, okay. There was an interesting touch there from Z. Centered it beautifully. Unfortunately, his teammates were going back for a boost at the time. But Demo Lovato didn't quite know what to do with it. The ball cam in his situation, we got to see the whole situation, but all he saw was the ball behind him. So in assumption of there being a player coming, got a touch on it to try to mess up whatever incoming shot there was, and nearly own goaled it. But managed to keep it alive, and now it's on the other end. Their blue players diving across the net to try to stop a Flowery Feed who had 0 boost to do any capitalization on the play. Now they're going back down the other end. Laugh Track shut down, but Gen Stem gets beat by Flowery Feed, and Flowery Feed will get the long shot down the whole length of the field there. Laugh Track beat by Gen Stem directly goes to Feed, and that one will find its way into the back of the net. Tied 2-2, 1 minute left.
Did a great job there of just beyond half court, getting enough power to keep the ball moving with pace and still near the top of the crossbar. So not giving the defender time to adjust or already back.
That was a scary situation for the Bars. Their whole tournament has led to this moment. They need to stay alive in this game if they have any shot at getting their charity in the prize pool. It looks like it is all demos for the Summit Legends, and that has left their back end completely open. I was going to talk about how many demos they've been going. You can see one player there. I couldn't even spot who it was because they were going so fast just on the hunt. But that leaves no one in the back to try to stop any shots on net.
Yeah, and that's a huge goal. I mean, 40 seconds left when you're talking about being on a tournament point there. And another one here. Finds the long roller on the open net. The insurance goal with 30 seconds left here from Donnie.
Yeah, nice little aerial pivot there to see the opportunity as the ball went rolling past him. You're lucky for him, he had enough boost in that situation. I've had many a time where I'm up in the air with 0 boost, just watching the ball roll on by. Now Donnie's here again. Goes slow and 50s it into the corner, just killing time off the clock, which is what they need with 2 minutes up. And yeah, that's looking like the Bars are going to be extending this series. Oh, maybe? It's not guaranteed yet. I won't speak too soon. The Summit Legends have scored a goal with 10 seconds on the clock. What will they be able to do with it?
Feed and Laugh Track linking up there on that play. Feed just doing a quick air carry off the wall straight to Laugh Track and into the top corner. Even 2 defenders up early for it, not enough to stop that. See if they have anything in the tank for the last 3 seconds. That was a shot opportunity, but couldn't quite put it on target.
Yeah, Laugh Track's going to be beating himself up on that one, not putting that shot into the net. The ball is still in the air. Demo Lovato starting to dribble, but that will be shut down. And the Bars keep themselves alive. We're going to game number 6.
And with that, we are moving back to Central servers for the final 2 games. So the Bars have kind of weathered the storm on the initial sweep push that Super Summit Legends were making, but now it looks like we have just a good series on our hands at this point.
Yeah, this is looking more and more intense. The Bars have been picking up momentum ever since the start of the series. When the first game happened, it was looking rough. Second game, you could see the improvement. Third game, they were almost there, and now that they've hit the 4th and 5th game, their stride has been found. They have figured out their opponents, and they have gotten in their head. You're not seeing the Summit Legends play the game that they want to anymore because there's so much pressure coming out from the Bars, shutting that down. And the Bars have done a good job of finding what niche they can find around the defensive strategy of the Summit Legends, playing it high like you had mentioned early on in the series, and generating opportunities by just peppering the backboard and putting everything towards the net afterwards.
One other element I think has greatly improved is challenging early, but in a safer manner. So if you recall in those first couple games, there were a few different plays where Feed would catch the ball, turning to the side, get one challenging player just completely out of the play, and then have a lot of space. We haven't seen that much space being given anymore. So what they've been doing is slowing down their challenges a little bit to the point, or delaying when they're committing to the challenges. So having the ability to kind of adjust based on what the Super Summit Legends do with that first touch to make sure they get a quality first challenge off. That's actually forcing them to do something earlier and denying that space.
Bars starting off this game with a strong opportunity going off the crossbar there. Another good shot sent away by Demo Lovato, who will bring that down the length of the field. Now Laugh Track centers out. Flowery Feed thought there was going to be a clear that ended up whiffing and turned away from it. Now Donnie going for the center. Z is there. The shot's good. Top left corner. And the Bars will start game number 6 in the lead.
A great pinch out of that corner. And Z just able to really drive home that shot. Yeah, with defenders in that, finding the opening.
Yeah, some excellent placement. Yeah, excellent placement there from Z. Something I'm curious to see is we saw at the end of last game, Summit Legends started really focusing on the demo game. And it honestly ended up costing them at the end when there was no one left to defend because their players were so hell-bent on keeping the Bars players off the field entirely. So I'm curious to see if the bump strategies, there it is right as I'm talking about it, are going to be a central part of Summit Legends, or if they're going to be sort of scared off of them by the fact that they effectively lost the previous game to overcommitting on the demos.
Yep, and now Super Summit finding the opportunity. Let's take a look at the replay. Donnie trying to play the ball across, but Feed having two players already going past the ball, just pops it just over him to the open net. Read the play beautifully.
Yep, too many defenders going for boost. Donnie not getting the corner of his car on that clearing touch there. Demo Lovato there getting a nice centering pass, but not quite able to be caught by his teammate. Will get sent down the other end. Flowery Feet just able to get enough of a touch to clear it a little bit. Z shot, Donnie follow up. Third follow up by Genstem cleared once again. Z now off the waterfall there, gets saved once again. And the Bars are just keeping up the pressure, but there's the demos that I was talking about earlier. Laugh Track going for a hunt, and that will open up the back end for Flowery Feed to simply waltz that one home.
And a huge demo there on the Genstem. Feed immediately sensing blood in the water and just dribbles that ball straight to net as soon as that happens.
Off the kickoff, Feed once again bringing the pressure, tries to center out to Laugh Track. Oh, an accidental touch there from Feed will send it back, and now can Z get it to Donnie. A little touch from Feed there will put it beyond the reach of the players. Bars are able to keep up the pressure. Donnie going for some demos of his own, not quite able to capitalize. Ball centers out, double commit from the Bars. Is anyone going to be able to stop this in the midfield? Genstem does actually beat the player there. 0 boost, but a little bit more enthusiasm on the play. And the Bars are just able to keep this midfield up here, not allowing Summit Center to get out of their zone at all. Genstem trying to center, Donnie trying to center, Z trying to center, every single player from the Bars trying to get a play. They're just not getting the shots out.
But Summit are not finding their way out of the situation yet, so there is still a lot of pressure. Z very nearly finding that top corner on that play with a very great shot. But the defender's covering most of the net. He was forced to go for the tightest of angles there, and just hitting off of the corner.
Finally, Flowery Feed able to bring his team out of their zone and try to start generating some offense of their own. Laugh Track going for the center. He's got a good play. Z, not a lot he can do with it, but that was definitely not the touch that he wanted. Ends up own goaling on the play.
It was already going in, but yeah, able to clear it out of the net. So yeah, down to a minute 20 left. This is a very tough spot.
Yeah, the bars have their back against the wall, but also the ball's against the backboard with, unfortunately, Z getting demoed there. Passing in the midfield, Donnie off the crossbar. He's going to want that one back.
Great pass over to Donnie, and that was what they needed to try to get a quick goal there to keep themselves in this game. As the clock ticks on here, Super Summit Legends are happy no matter what happens. And they're essentially playing with house money at this point.
Laugh Track continuing to be a menace to the bars, demoing at every opportunity he's got, trying to create some openings, and if not openings, at least a little bit of chaos. Donnie now coming up off the wall with boost and time, gets it past them. Is there a follow-up? No! Laugh Track just gets the edge of his car to tip that a little bit wide from the players, from the bars that had already jumped for the shot, unable to adjust to the little touch from Laugh Track there. 20 seconds left on the clock. Is there going to be any comeback available from the bars? Laugh Track trying to center it. Genstem's got no boost. Z doesn't get the touch. No one's back in the right position for the ball. 5 seconds on the clock, ticking down, and it looks like we have ourselves a third place team. Well, we've still got 0 second time left to go. There isn't an opportunity to win here, but there we go. Now we can announce it. Summit Legends are your third place team in the CEA Rocket League Championships this season.
Congratulations to them, and also Small Miracles Cat and Dog Rescue, the charity that they were playing for this year. And so they will be getting a $400 donation there. Griffith J in chat here referring to there were some other accolades this year based on some specific specific stats, sorry, over the season, and they're looking for shots off net and off bar that didn't score, as he was feeling it that season. As they, even in the last 90 seconds there were a couple good opportunities for the bars to tie that up, and that with a little bit better of shots, a little bit more on net there, could have had that be a tie game and an overtime, and who knows what happens from there. But game 6, 6 games in the third place match, a very solid showing from them, even though not placing on that podium this season. But
yep, that's what we love and hate about Rocket League, is it's so mechanically challenging to be good at this game. And there's like the difference between hitting the crossbar or scoring that goal is probably about a 1/10 of a second of when he decided to hit the flip button. And that's the thing about Rocket League that just makes it stand out compared to all the other games. But congratulations to all the players involved here. Bars did an excellent job to make it to the 4th place position. But of course, congratulations to Summit Legends getting that 3rd place spot and getting their donation to their charity of choice.
And while we don't do an official MVP here, we can do just a caster's gut feeling MVP. And I'll let you go first, Zippy.
Well, I mean, I feel like the effort from the team became a little bit more well-rounded near the end of this series, but for those first 3 games, Flowery Feed was absolutely the MVP and just dismantled the defense from the bars early on in the series. So I think I would have to, it's the stereotypical answer, the expected answer, but I think I got to give it to him.
For sure, I have to agree. And like you said, towards the second half of this series, it started to even out a lot more. But those first 3 games, it felt like Feed was just on fire, and no one else in the lobby was really warmed up or something. But it just felt like he had free reign of the whole pitch. So wanted to call out that effort, that performance. To make a lobby like this look that open and free takes a level of awareness that is definitely something special. So great job.
I did consider Laugh Track specifically for his demo plays. I think I would credit Laugh Track with the Game 6 win.
Okay.
Because he opened up the space for feed to be able to get the easy goals. But that definitely want to give him the credit for that, and the whole rest of the team for allowing the players to be able to make the push on the offense there.
Yep. And just one final comment to call out here. Childers here. This series is bad foreshadowing for the old guard. So the Bars here, a longer standing team, have taken the title in the past. This is the first podium finish, I think, for Super Summit Legends. Definitely on the rise. And so I'll use this a little bit to shout out the finals match that'll be coming up on Saturday. So it'll be 11 Pacific or 1 Central, depending on what your time zone is. But we will have Epic half and half flips taking on Amazon's For the Montage. Oh, okay. Laugh track correcting me here. Ah, yes, as Booze Clues, I believe, was when they played in 2020. And they did get a second place trophy. I forgot about that one. Thank you.
Just under a different name.
Yeah. Different name and different company, I believe. That all three of them have moved together after that. So, cool story there.
Nice.
But the finals preview here, we have Epic half and half flips versus Amazon For the Montage. Amazon being more of the old guard team, Epic being on the up and coming. They haven't had as much success in past seasons, but this season they were looking unstoppable. So I think they have 4 or 5 teams that were in the top 16 this year. So just like as a company have had a crazy showing this year. And so definitely looking to get their first title. So looking forward to that.
Excellent. Yeah, very exciting to see the finals coming up before long here. I believe that's if the schedule doesn't adjust again, that should be Saturday in the afternoon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's 11 a.m. Pacific or 1 p.m. Central. So just keep an eye out on the announcement channels in the Discord. We'll ping it once it comes up again. And that'll be over, not on this channel, but on CEA_RL. We'll be on the official channel for that one. So. All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Zippity, for casting. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And thanks to the teams and all the players this season. It's been awesome, and it's really cool now to see actually getting to see the money going to charity at the end of the season. And so really excited for Small Miracles Cat and Dog Rescue again. And Super Summit Legends for making that happen. So we will catch you on Saturday.